Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another cast list analysis, summary discussion. We have not done these in a while, and that's because I've just been overloaded with college work, but since most of it now is in my rearview mirror, I hope to get back to doing these consistently and making more content for you guys. So, we have gotten the summary along with a very large cast list for episode 50, and a very small summary for episode 51. Now, we knew the titles of these two episodes earlier in April, earlier in the month, but we did not know anything about these episodes, so again, we have the summaries for both and a cast list to go over. Definitely a lot to discuss. So without further ado, we are going to get into it. If you are trying to avoid spoilers, now is your chance to click off the video. 3, 2, 1, here we go. As always, huge thank you to DMC for the translations. I will link his website down in the description. So, Episode 50, the transfer student Homura Takeru. We also saw this preview at the end of 49. A student named Homura has transferred to Yusaku's school. Takeru also happens to be Soulburner, the duelist who came to Playmaker's aid. Takeru and his Ignis speak to Yusaku about the destruction of the Cyberse world, as well as the new enemies. So very interesting there. We knew Soulburner and Flame, especially Flame, most likely saw what happened in episode, or not in episode 50, before this season took place, like when the Cyberse world was destroyed. It's very easy to assume that Flame knows a lot more than than Playmaker's Ignis, only because Playmaker's Ignis was with him the entire time, whereas Flame most likely was in the Cyberse world when it got destroyed, so he probably saw the enemies that attacked. We'll learn that if this was maybe a group of 5 people, we might learn this could be like, kind of like Academia was in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, this might be an army of like 700 people, and if that's the case, that's going to be pretty insane, so it'll be very interesting to see, and maybe Flame will also describe that black shadow that we saw Haru and Bowman talking to, because he seems like he's going to be one of, if not the big boss of this arc and the big boss of this group, and I'm pretty sure he does appear in the cast list. Here is the cast. Yusaku / Playmaker, Homura / Soulburner, Flame, Kusanagi, Naoki, Blue Angel / Aoi, Ghost Girl / Emma, Go, Blood Shepherd, cool that he's back, 3 question marks, Bowman, Hal, Akira, Hayami, Isomaki, Robapi, Link Karibo. The only name that doesn't ring too much of a bell is Isomaki. Let me actually look that name up real quick. He might be one of like the, okay. He's the guy who drove I'll have a picture of him on screen. Actually, if you showed me this picture, I wouldn't even have guessed that it was from Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, but he's the guy that drove Akira to the meeting point with Emma in episode 12, and he also appeared in episode 2. He told Akira to get in and that he would take Akira to the hospital that Aoi was in. That was in episode 8. Episode 8 and episode 12. I might have said episode 2. So that's interesting. So he's appearing again. Akira's chauffeur, the taxi driver. Not sure what role he'll have, but he's right under Hayami and Akira. So they're kind of a group in this whole thing. And again, Akira really being forced to do the dirty work of Queen and do the dirty work of Soul, and in charge of hunting down Playmaker, probably against what he would rather do. I don't think he really wants to hunt down Playmaker. The guy who saved Link VRains, the guy who saved his sister on multiple occasions, and the guy who saved him. Remember, he was turned into Data. He would have died if Playmaker did not defeat Revolver. So I'm sure he doesn't want to do it, but he's got to keep his job, and Queen does not seem like the person you really want to go against. She seemed pretty terrifying in episode 48, or in episode 47, excuse me. So she's not on this list. I would have liked to see her speak, but that'll be interesting to see, again, the more development there with Akira and how he feels about doing this. Right above Bowman, we have 3 question marks. This is definitely the black silhouette that Bowman and Hal were speaking to in the episode 50 preview. Now, his voice actor is Maeda Issei. I actually looked him up, and he's 43 years old, or 44, I think he's 43 years old. So he's an older gentleman, so probably going to have a deeper voice, as you'd imagine. He voiced Bean in Hunter x Hunter, but besides that, he was only, he voiced certain characters, but only for, one episode. I think Bean is actually one of the only characters that he voiced that didn't only appear in 1 episode, according to Anime News Network. So if you recognize that character, which if you've watched Hunter x Hunter, you probably will, and you know about his voice, then please let me know what you think of his voice, and let me know, based on this list, if you know any other voices, the kind of characters he voices. But it doesn't seem like he's done a crazy amount of work, which isn't a big deal. I mean, this is the first role for a character like Aoi, for Yusaku's voice actor, and I think they've all done really good jobs. So experience isn't necessary, and they probably broke the bank to get Kaji Yuki, who again is Soulburner. So there's no real surprise that they don't have another really prolific voice actor there. But it'll be interesting to see the conversation that those three have and where everyone goes from here on out. We have Go. We don't have the other two people that we're seeing barging into Akira's office on this list. We have Blood Shepherd as well. It'll be cool to see Blood Shepherd back. He's part of that quote-unquote, Goki Vanguard squad, but it seems like he's really doing his own thing. He didn't go to the formal meeting with Go. He was already in VRains trying to hunt down Playmaker, and we even see in the opening him dueling Playmaker, so he's going to be a thorn in the side of Playmaker. There's no doubt about that, and it'll just be interesting again to see the dialogue between especially Playmaker and Soulburner, or Yusaku and Homura, I should say. And hopefully, Aoi is on this cast list. She's in this school, and so is Naoki. Hopefully, all four of them, or at the very least, Aoi, has some kind of interaction with Yusaku and Homura. Again, we do not want to see her, as most female characters it happens to. We do not want to see her get swept to the side. So hopefully, she will make dialogue with them. She will make contact with them, just so she's going to have some sort of connection with Homura, especially since he's going to probably be a very important character going forward, and maybe break out of her shell. And her interactions with Yusaku are usually pretty awkward and pretty fun for us to watch. So anyway, that's episode 50. We're going to move on to episode 51. We have three sentences about 51. The man who cast away charisma. I guessed, and I think a lot of people guessed when we first saw this, that this was absolutely about Go. 100% about Go, based on what we saw of him in the opening and the ending, and in episode 46 or 47 even. Just seemed like a completely different character, and this does seem like it is going to be a Go focused episode, which is really cool. So we were all right about that. Go, who is now working as a bounty hunter for Soul Technologies, manages to find Playmaker and I. Go then attempts to duel Playmaker. However, Soulburner then shows up and blocks Go's path. So, it looks like we're going to get another non-Playmaker duel, which is great, because again, the main complaint I had about the first 46 episodes, and I think the main complaint a lot of people had, is it was so Yusaku-focused, it was so Playmaker-focused, and if you didn't really connect with him as a character, I did, I like Playmaker a lot, I like him a lot as a protagonist, but if you didn't really connect with him as a character, then a lot of the duels were just, here we go again, it's the same stuff. So it's cool that we're now getting to see other characters duel, and a Go vs. Soulburner duel is very interesting because it's a duel where you feel both characters need a win. I think Go, to revitalize his character and to revitalize his, career in this universe even, he needs a win. And him dueling Playmaker would have been a definite loss. Him dueling Soulburner, probably going to be a loss as well. I don't see Soulburner losing, but then again, if Go beats Soulburner, he's all of a sudden extremely legit in this world once again. I mean, he just beat a guy that has already been dubbed by the Frog and the Pigeon to have the potential to be the next hero of VRains. But would they make Soulburner lose to Go? I'm not quite sure. While Go and Soulburner are dueling, maybe that's a chance for Blood Shepherd and the other two to go after Playmaker and challenge him. Could be a route they go there. So it looks like it's going to be Soulburner versus Go, and again, it's Soulburner once again coming to the aid of Playmaker, so he really is going all in with defending Playmaker and being there for a friend, I guess you can say. So that's very genuine, and I know there's a lot of rumors and theories about him getting possessed or him betraying Playmaker, but as of now he does seem to be very, very legit towards Playmaker, and a Soulburner versus Go duel I think would be very, very cool, because Go needed some sort of change. He was almost at a dead end, and I think as a character, he even knew that he was at a dead end, because when he was dueling Revolver, he basically said this whole entertainment, which is the style he's had his entire life, this whole entertainment style and making others happy, it's just not realistic. And I remember when he said that, myself and a lot of people were like, wow, that was very not Go. Like, that did not sound like Go at all. So I'm glad they took that little line as a big foreshadowing hint, and now we have a whole different Go Onizuka, and it'll be very interesting to see what he brings to the table in this season, and to see what he brings to the table in this episode. I'll probably run a poll on Twitter to see what you guys think of this duel, if this duel is definitely going to happen, Soulburner versus Go, because I'm going to lean towards Soulburner, although I would like to see maybe even a no result or a draw, because that way no one really gets quote-unquote buried. Because if Go has this big revitalization and then loses, I mean, what's that going to do for him? You know, what was the point of revitalizing his character? What was the point of him getting his own episode in 51? It seems like it's going to be a very Go-focused episode. And if that's the case, remember, we had a Go-focused episode in the very beginning of Season 1, and the very next character that had a focused episode was Aoi Aizen, and I would love for her to get another focused episode. So that could happen maybe in 52 or 53, although I would think if we have a duel as, I guess you can maybe say, prolific as Go and Soulburner, maybe that's hyping it up a little too much, it'll probably go into episode 52 and 53 as well. And before 51 airs, we should get the episode summary for 52 and the titles for 53, 54, and maybe even 55. May has a lot of episodes in it. So, but then again, episode 51 is kind of already airing in mid-May, so maybe only to 54. But before 51 airs, we should get a lot more insight about what's to come. And maybe we can kind of pick apart who's going to win this duel based on the summaries. But that's going to be an interesting duel. Did not see that coming. So let me know if you're excited for that duel. Let me know if you're excited for most likely a plot episode. Again, Yoshida is scripting episode 50. That probably means it's going to be a full plot episode, especially because if we're getting a duel like Go vs. Soulburner in 51, I don't see a duel beginning in episode 50. I mean, nothing in the episode 50 summary hints that we're getting a duel. And usually when the cast list is massive like it is for episode 50, it means that we are getting a plot building episode and a story building episode, and hopefully that's what we get. We haven't had one in a while. So anyway, guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. I cannot wait to talk to you in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will be uploading a little later today my 10 favorite duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! So I hope you check that out as well. Thank you guys again for watching and for the support, and I hope you have an amazing day.